Peter, three of your collaborators, longtime collaborators, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Sam Altman, are arguably the three leading AI language model leaders. Which one is going to win? Rank them in order and tell us a little bit about each. Peter said he would answer any question.
I said I would take any question. I didn't say to answer any question.
You said you would honestly. You said today you felt extremely honest and candid. So let's.
Yeah, but I've already been extremely honest and candid. So I think I can stop here.
Quote him.
It's whoever I talk to last.
Okay. Well, okay. Why don't you?
They're all very, very convincing people. So
Great answer.
I don't know.
Well, maybe talk a little bit about each individual.
I talked to Elon a while ago, and it was just how ridiculous it was that Sam Altman was getting away with turning OpenAI from a nonprofit into a for-profit. That was such a scam. If everybody was allowed to do this, everybody would do this. That it has to be totally illegal what Sam's doing, and it shouldn't be allowed at all. And that seemed really, really convincing in the moment. And then sort of half an hour later, I thought to myself, but actually, man, it's been such a horrifically mismanaged place at OpenAI with this preposterous nonprofit board they had. Nobody would do this again. And so there actually isn't much of a moral hazard from it. So, but yeah, whoever I talk to, I find very convincing in the moment.
Will that space just get commoditized? I mean, do you see a path to a monopoly there?
Well, again, this is again where you should, attention is all you need. You need to pay attention to who's making money. It's Nvidia. It's the hardware, the chips layer, and then it's just what we, it's not what we've done in tech for 30 years.
Are they making 120% of the profits?
I think everybody else is losing money collectively. Yeah, everyone else is just spending money on the computer. So it's one company that's making. I mean, maybe there's a few other people that are making some money. I mean, I assume TSMC and ASML, but yeah, I think everyone else is collectively losing money.
What do you think of Zuckerberg's approach to say, I'm so far behind, this isn't core to my business, I'm going to open source it? Is that going to be the winning strategy? Handicap that for us.
Again, I would say my big qualification is, my model is AI feels like it does feel uncomfortably close to the bubble of 1999. So we haven't invested that much in it, and I want to have more clarity in investing. But the simplistic question is, who's going to make money? I think a year ago, 2 years ago, in retrospect, Nvidia would have been a good buy. I think at this point, everybody, it's sort of too obvious that they're making too much money. Everyone's going to try to copy them on the chip side. Maybe that's straightforward to do. Maybe it's not. But that's, I'd say probably you should if you want to figure out the AI thing, you should not be asking this question about Meta or OpenAI or any of these things. You should really be focusing on the Nvidia question, the chips question, and the fact that we're not able to focus on that tells us something about how we've all been trained. I think Nvidia got started in 1993.
Yeah,
I believe that was the last year where anybody in their right mind would have studied electrical engineering over computer science. Right, 94, Netscape takes off, and then it's probably a really bad idea to start a semiconductor company even in 93. But the benefit is there was going to be no one would come after you. No talented people started semiconductor companies after 1993 because they all went into software.
Peter Thiel recently shocked the tech industry by making shocking claims regarding Nvidia's stock's 2025 prospects, predicting that it will expand at an astounding rate. After surpassing 22,000 in just the past 10 years, Nvidia is at a critical crossroads. However, with concerns about the sustainability and relentless pace of AI hardware spending, a compelling question arises. Can Nvidia continue its dizzying rise, or are we seeing the calm before a financial recalibration? Welcome back to the investing tutorial, everyone.
I think it's quite strong because of this history that I just gave you, where none of us know anything about chips, and And then I think I think the risk, it's always, if attention is all that you need. The qualifier to that is, when you get started as an actress, as a startup, as a company, you need attention. Then it's desirable to get more. And at some point, attention becomes the worst thing in the world. And there was the one day where Nvidia had the largest market cap in the world earlier this year. And I do think that represented a phase transition. Once that happened, they probably had more attention than was good.
Hey, Peter, as we wrap here, your brain works in a unique way. You're an incredible strategist. You think, very differently than a lot of the folks that we get to talk to. With all of this, are you optimistic for the future?
I always push back on that question. I think extreme optimism and extreme pessimism are both really bad attitudes, and they're somehow the same thing. Extreme pessimism, nothing you can do. Extreme optimism, the future will take care of itself. So if you have to have one, it's probably you want to be somewhere in between, maybe mildly optimistic, mildly pessimistic. But I believe in human agency, and that it's up to us, and it's not some sort of winning a lottery ticket or some astrological chart that's going to decide things. And I believe in human agency, and that's sort of an axis that's very different from optimism or pessimism.
What a great
extreme
place.
Optimism, extreme pessimism.
Since OpenAI's ChatGPT became widely available in 2022, tech giants have hurried to strengthen their positions in the dominion of huge language models. With RPP promising between $60 billion and $65 billion on AI capital expenditures, a foray into uncharted territory without a clear monetization roadmap, Meta platforms seem to be on the verge of financial collapse, while Nvidia's advanced graphics processing units have proven indispensable in this regard, creating demand that is almost insatiable. So what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
All due respect to Galileo, the center of the stock market universe remains Nvidia. They're going to report their earnings on February 26. By then, I think this DeepSeek scare will have completely faded into a rearview mirror. In fact, more and more research is coming out that says that $6 million price tag may be just a little funky. Maybe it was more like $1.6 billion instead of a handful of old Nvidia chips. Maybe it was 50,000 Nvidia chips. So maybe the DeepSeek scare goes away. All right, I want to bring in my first guest, and let's start with Nvidia. Lance Roberts. Hey, Lance, I just want to get your thoughts on this whole DeepSeek scare. It seems to be fading away a little bit. In fact, some are saying it sparked a bidding war for all the other Nvidia chips.
Well, it did. And we actually wrote an article right after that came out and said, look, there's so many things we don't know. And now all this stuff's starting to come to light. Maybe there was 15,000 Nvidia chips used. There's a whole lot of questions around that. But then also one of the things we've got to be aware of is this is a total Chinese-owned AI intelligence company. Remember, we're already in the middle of a ban for TikTok. So it's very likely, in fact, the bill is just being introduced now to potentially ban DeepSeek from use in the U.S. So this just opens up the ability for U.S. to continue to dominate in this space. But competition breeds more competition, which is great, because that's just more demand that's going to be needed. And again, right now, NVIDIA is the leader of its chips. So much money per second. AI is there, but it's going to be NVIDIA from now on.
All right, so here's the thing. Coming into the week, I want to show the audience something, right? Coming into the week, NVIDIA was trading at $120 a share. The lowest target on Wall Street is $130 a share. In fact, someone sees it, a couple of firms see it at $220. So you've got a stock with an average target of $173. Even right now, it's at $128. I know you had talked about buying the dip. Are you in there buying this yet?
Well, we've been long NVIDIA for a long time, and it's one of our favorite holdings in our portfolio. But yes, what I want to see is a little bit more recovery. It had a really sharp sell-off, following this earnings announcement, DeepSeek, and all this that was going on. That volatility is now clearing itself out. I think over the next few days, we'll probably have a very good entry point to add to that position. But yes, I am going to be buying more of that position. It's just a question of timing.
Would you buy before or after the earnings report?
We're going to be buying before the earnings report. I am betting that earnings report is going to be a lot better than estimates are expecting. Right now, a lot of those estimates have come down a lot, which have now really kind of set NVIDIA up the ability to beat those estimates and deliver.
With an impressive 94% increase in revenue to $35.1 billion in the third quarter, Nvidia's Allure's high-end data center chips that power AI engines continue to be in high demand, resulting in an outstanding gross margin of over 75%. While rumors of a low-cost Chinese competitor are rampant, Nvidia's continued supremacy suggests that its GPU technology is still unmatched. Rivals of leading software companies are driving operating income to a dominating $21.9 billion. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
All two on it today. Evercore says the DeepSeek sell-off creates an opportunity. Quote, we're buyers into earnings. Tactical, obviously, but there's a fair debate happening on the street right now as to whether the big beat and raise days for Nvidia were over before DeepSeek. Just because how can you possibly keep up? I'm not saying you can't beat and raise, but how do you beat and raise by that much continuously to keep the stock and the expectations where they have just been unbelievable? Now DeepSeek creates even more questions going in, but the stock sold off considerably and had a hard time recovering from that.
Yeah, I have to wonder, too, what it means for investment into China. There was that piece over the weekend, I believe, which talked about how the DeepSeek phenomenon has kind of reignited interest in investing in China. And this comes against the backdrop of everything we've seen with ByteDance and TikTok and all of the geopolitical issues. But you do have a incredible amount of talent in China, which is important for the tech ecosystem. And so just kind of what DeepSeek revealed about the potential for investing there in a way that really hasn't been the case over the last few years or so is these tensions have simmered as the nations have decoupled as a result of just the competitive threat there, kind of reigniting the interest in investing in China. I thought was.
It's evident that Nvidia is still a strong force in the AI space, with remarkable profit margins and inventiveness. But given the current trends in hardware spending and its enormous market capitalization, the company's potential for further exponential growth appears to be severely limited. What do you think? Finally, give your opinions. If you want to see what firms like Nvidia have been up to lately, click the next video on your screen. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.